Hey everyone, it's Desiree. Day 21. Wow, we're getting there. For this one, I'm going to feature components from the Simon Says Stamp limited edition Christmas card kit that they released in 2018. You know, you've got that feel of vintage, so absolutely, I jumped right in on that. I am in love with this stamp set. No, we're not going to see 5 cards, I know, but I am going to make a couple cards using some of the components from the stamp set to the ephemera from Tim Holtz that is in the kit, or that was provided in the kit. I fell in love with these images and the sentiments, and this was called Comfort and Joy. What's great, one of the things that is great with Simon Says stamp kits, or their monthly subscription, is you can get the stamp set individually and or dies to coincide. So I'll make sure that is linked below. So I'm using the cardstock, the pattern paper that came into this. I pulled out all kinds of different ephemera. This is one of those cards where I was thinking right and I decided to go left, which again, I cannot stress enough is the beauty of what we all do. Okay, I just cannot stress on this. The sentiment that I want to use, or that I'm going to use, is joy to the world. And I want that to come and be on the green cardstock towards the bottom. Now, I was going to adhere this directly to, I'm going to call this candy cane stripe pattern paper right directly on it. So I had glue there. Nope, changed my mind. I'm going to put my foam tape there because I actually found it. I hadn't seen it in a while. And I'm going to trim up the edges, and then I'm going to place that green strip right on top of that. Of course, I do that before I emboss. Now, there is a method to my madness on that. I wasn't quite sure where it needed to sit on that cardstock because I wanted it to be on an angle. Yeah, it was a process. So I figured, all right, if I just trim it down, lay it down on that angle there, I have 2 pencil marks on each side of where I want it to sit. And with all of that foam tape, I kept my whole body cross that I would have a great surface to stamp my image in my Versamark ink and then use my gold embossing powder. Yeah, there was a lot of hoping going on here and fingers crossed, but you know what? It's okay if it didn't work out. It's okay if it didn't look perfect. I was good with it. And plus, that's the beauty of vintage. You know, it's funny. I love the vintage look. I love the aged look. I love black and white photos, or some of the photos that I have of my great grandparents, because of the way, or no, great. Only 2 greats. They're all great, many greats, but I keep forgetting that level. I know there's multiple levels there, but because they were automatically black and white, or they were that aged look, the vintage photo look, I just love it. So I'm okay if it doesn't look perfect. You're going to see that when I emboss this, I have a great impression, but there was a corner that held on to the embossing powder. I was okay with that. Let it go. Let it go. We are going to have a video that's going to start 2019 off with letting it go. And no, you created it. So you know what? It's beautiful. It is unique. It is yours. It's handmade. And that's the beauty of it. I want everyone to know that. So we're going to talk about that one day in 2019. It doesn't have to be perfect. And you know what? Nothing is perfect. Nothing. No matter what videos you watch or anything like that, nothing is perfect. The beauty of this is you're never going to make yours look exactly like theirs. And that's the beautiful part, because we are each unique. Could you imagine if everything was the same? Somebody said that in one of my comments. And you know what? I really stopped and read that comment over and over again. Imagine it. That's what makes something unique. Could you imagine if everything was the exact same and looked the same? The beautiful art that we would be missing. So, take that in. I know. We'll get to that. So I'm now just having fun. I'm playing with the pieces. I distress the one piece. I do not suggest you using your scissors to distress a piece. There is a distress tool. I couldn't find it. Please do not use your scissors. It's not wise. It is dangerous, and I'm surprised I didn't cut my finger off. Just a little bit of an FYI there. I do not recommend or encourage that act. All right, now that I said that. So the piece that I really distressed that you saw, it just was too big, and it was kind of going. So this is where I'm now going left. So I found this beautiful photo of the Christmas tree, and of course it said Happy Christmas. My favorite saying during this time is Happy Christmas, or Merry Christmas, of course. But my ultimate favorite is Merry Everything, because that's what this season allows for. It is a wonderful time of the year, no matter how crazy it is. And it's not represented by a tree. It's not representative by the gifts. It's representative of the time that we can spend with our family and friends and everything that we do. So Merry Everything. I found the cute special delivery. I changed my mind on the 25-cent tickets and the other ticket that I pulled. I just wanted that to come across it to make it look like that it is a package and the special delivery is joy to the world. So what a better sentiment than that. I'm going to get my A2 size standard card base ready, and that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and it's a top folding, and I'm going to use my tonic paper creaser. I love the look of it. Believe it or not, that is why I bought that, because of the metal tip, and I have no problems with it. It is my favorite paper creaser. I do not own the bone Teflon one. It's at a high price point, and I get it, but I don't see the marks that mine leaves either. So we'll get into that more in another video. For our second card, I had to play with the ornaments. These ornaments remind me of ornaments that my grandmother had on her tree. She had the glass ornaments. And between me and my sister, we still have some of them. And they still go up on our trees. So they just reminded me. And it's funny, as I'm making these cards, these songs come into my head. It's really funny. Does anybody else craft that way as you're crafting? This song just pops into your head because of what you're crafting. So the song, I know you all think I'm crazy. I get it. The song that I was thinking was Silver and Gold. So, because I watch all of the Christmas kids movies, TV shows, I gotta watch them because they're cute, and I'm thinking of the little snowman singing Silver and Gold right now. So that's what I did. So I've got my silver embossing powder, I've got my gold embossing powder, and I'm just stamping these, going in every single, going all up and down, but just creating my own pattern paper. I know usually I start in the center and work out. This time I chose to go into the top left corner and work around. So you will find that as I get to this, I have a open area, but an ornament just won't fit in there. I don't want to cross over. I'm okay with that. I'm going to cover it up. There is something that's going to sit on top of that area. So you can look at that as well. If you're not comfortable starting in the center when you create your own pattern paper with your stamps, you can start on the edge. As long as you know what, I'm going to have a focal point that sits on top of that section. I'm okay if I don't fully cover it. You could already have that piece cut too, so that you know what size it is. And if you want to, just draw a line around just to give you an idea, make sure you cover up that line or erase it, because I would forget that. Just know where your areas are and work on it that way. So again, what I'm also not worried about here is I'm not stamping my images and doing all of the gold first, then stamping my images again and doing the silver next. Don't have time for that. So again, as long as you click on your paper, tap your paper, and you can probably hear my ring jingling there. As long as you're doing that, the embossing powder is going to come off. So I'm okay interchanging this. I'm not getting contamination in 2 of my embossing pots there. So, and if I do, I'm not worried about it. It's a minuscule amount. It's not going to see it. Now, but what is cool, as I keep doing that, I am getting a mixture of the embossing powder on each of my images. It's very faint. I can see it. The camera will not pick it up. I can guarantee you that. It just will not pick it up. But it's very faint. It's nothing that's glaring. It's almost like a shimmer paper, where you could have a pink shimmer paper, but as you turn it, you see this gold hue on top. That's kind of what it's creating a little bit. Once I have that done, of course, Vintage Photo comes back, and I'm going to go around the edges of my pieces, and I'm just playing with the placement of them. Now, I know all 3 of these will fit beautifully. We don't have to worry about that. Sometimes I do get carried away. I love mixed media. I fully enjoy mixed media on a card. Just know that when you do the mixed media, you're adding sometimes a lot of dimension. You're adding a lot of weight. So just know that even though it's a standard 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card, A2 size card, know that you could be adding weight. So you always want to check with your post office what your card weighs, how much that will, you know, apply or cost you in postage. So just, you know, keep that in mind. You know, some of these cards you wouldn't even be able to put in the mail because I add so many layers to them. So they're just cards that I hand out, that I would actually give to somebody. So just keep that in mind sometimes. I'm going to use my tape runner and apply this panel. When I cut this panel out, I did use my Lawn Fawn stitched rectangle, so that is going to cover the entire front of my card completely. No, this is a top folding standard A2 size card as well. I grabbed the sentiment from the stamp set, happiest holidays to you and yours, and just going to put that on the inside. While we think sometimes those sentiments go on the outside, they work just perfectly on the inside. I've said this before, we put a lot of work on the outside of our cards sometimes. Why cover it up with a sentiment? Put it on the inside. And then you can just sign your name if you don't have anything to say on the inside. It works out! Yay! So Bo had to start this over, and I'm just taking a piece of my thin jute, I'm tripling it up, I'm tying my bow, and I'm not even going to trim it. I'm going to let it be. I'm just going to even out each of the sides, and I'm going to find its placement on my card. When it comes to my vintage card, jute, Vintage Photo ink. They're the 2 staples that I must have for these types of cards. I'm going to use my micro dots, glue dots, to adhere my bow to it. And those are our 2 cards using the Simon Says Limited Edition Christmas 2018 card kit. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for sticking around. Again, this is day 21. We are getting there. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do. I'd love to have you here, part of my group, and be ready for what's coming out in 2019. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up. That gives me some information to continue on. If you have any questions or comments, please leave those down below, and I will make sure I get back to you as soon as I can. Just know, with all of these rolling out, it's taking me a little longer than normal to do that, but that's okay. I will get back to you. All the products that I used will be listed down below in the video description. Remember, I'm not going to have a blog post for each one of these videos as they're coming out now because I am behind. I'm going to have one massive posting after the holidays and linking to all of these videos if you wanted to check them out there at one at a time, or if you want to tell somebody. I hope everyone's having a great day. We are getting close to the holiday season. It is Christmas Eve here, December 24th. As I am posting this video, so we are getting ready where it's all over. I hope everyone's having a great time. Remember, any stress, the best therapy for that is being creative.